If you're creating images for Lemon8, Instagram, your YouTube thumbnails or community tab, your Facebook page, or other social platforms, and you want to cut out a photo and add a white border around it, that is incredibly easy to do inside of Photoshop, even if you are a brand new beginner. Let's take a look at how you can be doing this inside of Photoshop. So you are going to import your photo, and the first thing I'm going to recommend for you to do is to duplicate your background. So you're just going to take that layer and drag it down to the duplicate button. You can turn off that bottom layer if you want. You can leave it on, whatever works best for you. Now, all you're going to do is go up to the Select tab. You can't see it on screen here, but it will be on your top toolbar. And under Select, you're going to go down to the word Subject. This is going to put those marching ants around your photo. Now, before you do anything else, what I want you to do is look very closely and make sure it didn't miss anything. Sometimes when it is outlining the subject of a photo, it can miss sections of it, and you're just going to go over to your toolbar and going to click on your lasso tool. Now, if you hold Shift down, it will add in parts to what is cut out. You can hit Command Z if you want to undo that. And to remove things, you can hold the Option key down on Mac. Now, there are other keyboard shortcuts if you are not on a Mac, but you get the basic idea. So you are going to hit Command Z to undo something if you need to fix it. So you're just going to look very closely, make sure that it hasn't outlined anything weird. Sometimes it does do that. And then you're just going to want to refine that edge. Now, if you do not want to do that first, you can just do this next step and go back in and fix it. So you are going to go down to your layer mask. So that is going to look like a little rectangle with a circle out of the middle of it. When you click on that, it removes everything that is not outlined. So you can see as it did this, it cut out some of this kind of weird. So you're going to go into your brush panel. And if you are starting on your normal brush, it's probably going to be a soft round brush. I'm actually going to go in on the right-hand side and I'm going to move it over to a hard round brush. And now I'm going to zoom in on my image. This is where you come in to refine any part of your image that did not go properly for you. So if your paint is on white, that means it's adding it to it. If your paint is on black, that means it's taking things away from it. So you want to make sure you're on black to refine that unless you need to add things back in, and you're just going to be able to toggle your size of your brush with your bracket keys. Now, again, you can do your Command Z if you need to undo something you just did, or if you need to toggle between the colors so you accidentally painted off too much, you can just hit that X key, and that will go ahead and fix that for you. So anything that looks weird, anything you feel is not going to work properly, or if it's a pixelated edge, you're just going to go in and you are going to refine that, add back in anything that it took off, and you are just going to want to make that nice and simple for yourself so that everything works properly. So we're just going to very quickly refine this edge. I know this is not the best job because we're just showing you for this tutorial, but you just want to make sure you refine any edge, and especially pay attention to hair and clothing, which again, you can refine later on because this is on a layer mask. So this is non-destructive. It's not going to remove it entirely like the eraser tool would. So let's just say we're happy with how this has been cut out. I'm going to zoom back out. And now I am going to duplicate this layer again, just in case I need it. I'm going to turn off that other layer, and I'm going to use my right-click button, and I am then going to turn this into a smart object. So once you have it as a smart object, you are going to go up to your layer. So up at the top toolbar, you're going to click on layer, you're going to come down to layer style, and you're going to go down to stroke. Now, once you do that, you're going to see your image has started to be outlined. We're going to move the size up a little bit so we can see it, and then we're going to refine this even more. Now, underneath the size dial, you will see the word position, and you'll be able to click inside, outside, or center. For most of these things, we are going to use the outside so that it does not take away from your image. So you can see how that very clearly changed how that is going to be looking. So you can see that you're usually going to want to go with outside for this one. You can change your opacity. You can also change your blend mode. And by clicking on color, you have the ability to then change that coloring as well. You can change your size, however big or small you are going to need it. And if you find that some of it is a little bumpy, there are two ways to now handle this. You can play with your layer mask, and you can put that on by doing the little rectangle with the circle down at the bottom right-hand corner. And then using your hard round brush, you're just going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to refine these things. So you can kind of see how that's going to pull away at that. And that is based on the image, not necessarily on the outline of the image. So if you just need to refine a little bit of it, I would actually use the second version of this, where instead of using that layer mask, I would actually go in and convert this to a smart object, then add a new layer mask because I'm not refining the hair. I'm not refining the arms. I'm not refining the legs. I am just changing how the outside of that outline looks. So if something, especially around the hair, is too bumpy for you, just edit that outline. Don't edit the actual photo. You can make it look a little more cohesive because you can see around my hand, it's a thinner line than it is around my hair. So you may just need to tuck some of that in. From there, you can use this however you need to, but you also have those layers available to you should you need to go back and make some type of change. So always save this as a PSD file. Then you also have the ability to save this as a PNG if you're going to be taking this and putting this elsewhere, or if you're going to be then using this inside of your thumbnails, inside of your images, etc. Questions on this, go ahead and drop it down below. And if you have things that you're trying to figure out how people designed on Lemon8 or Instagram or YouTube, go ahead and drop your questions down below. Especially if you have examples, I would love to show you how you can create similar looks for the graphics that you're creating for your social media content. And as always, hit that subscribe and notification bell because every single day we're dropping brand new videos to help you navigate the world of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, live streaming, Lemon8, and the tools and tech that you need to save you time and ever creating your content so that you can make more money online, but spend less time and stress doing it. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.